Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm in a brand new location. So this is the first time that I filmed here in Fort Lauderdale, and I am at possibly my new favorite gym. I feel like I say this a lot, or I've been saying it a lot, but I've had a couple of new gyms lately. So this is Powerhouse Gym. It is right by the beach. There's like an amazing view out these windows. It's very aesthetic. So I think the best thing about it though is they do have a lot of equipment. So the purpose of today's workout is actually me building out our new program that's coming up on the Workout Builder. So what I wanted to show you is really kind of what I'm thinking about when I'm putting these programs together, I guess how I actually do it. And today it's going to be a deload. I'm only going to be doing 2 sets of every exercise just so that I can kind of get through, play around with some of the new equipment that I haven't been able to use before, so that it's, you know, it feels good, it's a good duration, you know, it makes sense based on where I am currently at in my fitness journey. And hopefully if you guys have been following along on some of my other programs, you might have started out with the Get Lean and Train with me, you might have progressed to the Pro Fitness model, you might have done the Road to Worlds, and then maybe you're stumbling right in my shadow with the Glutes and Shoulders program too. So they kind of all progress upon each other, and as I've learned new things, I add them. So we are growing together. So I'm going to jump in. It's going to be a full body workout today. So I'm going to try and hit glutes, quads, hamstrings, calves, and then you guys know I'm not doing a whole lot of chest and back, but I'm going to do 1 exercise of each. So that takes us to 6 exercises, and then I'm going to finish out on 2 shoulder exercises. And today I'll probably do a medial and maybe a rear delt. We'll see. But I want to really make sure I am getting full use of all the equipment here, so that you guys have a really well-rounded training program. So I'm going to get warmed up. You guys have seen me do this a million times, but I'll try and do some new ones today. And if you've got questions, please make sure you drop them in the comments. Make sure you are following my YouTube channel. Make sure you click that big subscribe button, and let's get started. God dang it, I forgot a hair tie. It's gonna be one of those days, guys. So last night I was ready to go to bed at about, I'm gonna go midnight or something like that. We did a whole day of filming, and I'm going through my emails just to make sure like there wasn't any emergencies or nothing blew up yesterday and I needed to respond. I'm sure they would have called me if they did, but I got an email from my accountant, and I guess I had a bunch of things that I needed to get to her by today, and today is Friday, so that we can get taxes done in time. So I was up until 2 o'clock, slept in accidentally, but here we are, we made it. I'm a little bit tired today, so hopefully I can bring you the energy. So I'm just doing these, started off like a regular range of motion, and as I feel like I'm warming up a bit more, you really want to avoid static movement. We want to warm up the muscles and the joints that you're going to be hitting in that session, but without holding or pausing for too long, as it does negatively impact your strength. And we don't want that. Okay, good old hack squats. Gets me every time. It's funny, I've had, because I've had so much time out of the gym, clearly I'm not my best physique, but I am feeling so much stronger, and I know I'm recovering way better, which is, it's not something that I've had the feeling of in a long time, I think, because I've done so much training, particularly like for competitions. It's usually very intense, like you're working at such a high RPE and you're doing a lot. There's no skipping training, you're in a calorie deficit, so you're not able to recover as well. So the fact that I have hardly been in the gym, every time I come in, I felt so good. Like obviously right now I'm kind of complaining a little bit because I've been sitting for a bit, but like when I'm actually doing the sets, so good, feeling really strong, which is nice. Remember, dynamic, world's greatest stretch rather than static. Again, really want to think about driving that hip like down into the ground here. But we don't want to hang around there too long. All right, a little bit more hip mobility. Again, I have been sitting so much more because of my sedentary job. It's great. I'm coaching all you guys how to be super lean and shredded. Meanwhile, I'm stuck at my desk. Sorry, this is just a good hip opener. Again, lots of movement, internal and external rotation. So, okay, you've seen me do rollouts before. Just getting a little bit more hamstring. It's funny, as I'm looking around this gym, there's so many people that I see when I'm out walking. Like, we must all live in the same area. We should just have a house party one day here. All right, a little bit of spinal mobility. And we will do the scorpion. I think in last week's video, or the last video that I did in the gym, I showed you this one, but we're trying to keep your shoulders kind of firmly fixed on the ground. And we're just trying to focus on spinal rotation. So we're trying to reach over and tap the opposite hand. Alrighty kids, let's do this. Okay, so first off, I'm going to start with my compound exercise of choice, and I'm going to be doing, I guess, pin squats today. So we're going to be finding where your parallel is. So the rack height for me may be very different for you. So I'm going to get the bar set up at my normal catch bar on the JPEG, and then I'm going to walk it out, and then I'm going to do a squat, and I'm going to first try just squatting to this weight here, or sorry, to this catch bar here. And if it doesn't feel like it's parallel, and I'm actually going to film that set so I can see. If it's too low, I'll take it up. If it's too high, I'll take it down. So that's what I'm going to be doing for this first little bit here. So you can see it's probably a little bit too low for me, coming down. So you notice I'm doing low bar squats here, guys. So I'm kind of really winging my arms back so that it sits right on my shelf, as opposed to a high bar back squat. I'm coming right down onto that ledge. So that is a way better depth for me. Okay. The only other thing that I'm on a complaints, I guess, run right now, these JPEGs are a little bit too far apart. So when I want to re-rack the bar, and again, you guys should play around with different rack heights to make sure that it's comfortable for you. But ideally, you don't want to have to come up on your toes to come over that JPEG, like really, in an ideal world. Or you don't want to have to be lifting up the bar, rather. I should have probably started with that. When you're walking the bar back in at the end of your set, you don't really want to have to be coming up on your toes to get that back in. So this, the height of the back of the JPEG, should be a comfortable height to just walk it straight back in, and then it slides down. So basically you want it a little bit lower so that when you stand up tall, it's easy to walk it back out. Does that make sense? So I'm going to try the lower rack height. It might be too low. We'll see. Again, you can't get it perfect every time. Every gym is different. Every bit of equipment's different. That looks really low. We're not going to do that. Give me more flexibility. All right, let's put some weight on. So notice how I kind of like snuggle into the bar, and I've got my feet together. We're not splitting, we're coming together. Then we stand up tall, one step directly back, another step, and then that third step should be putting you in position, okay? So now I'm in that perfect squat position, my feet are in the correct space, I'm not getting uneven by splitting my stance at any point, and I'm good to go. So see when I come back in how that bar doesn't want to nicely come, so I'm going to have to come up on my tippy toes just a little bit, which is really annoying, but we're not here to break world records, we're here to train. You knew I was going for these. So I've got my ball of wrist wraps. I do not want to, I guess, have arthritic wrists when I'm older. So these are going to support my joints, and particularly because I'm doing a back squat in a low bar position, there is so much pressure on my wrist. Now there's also a good amount of pressure on my scapula, which is where it's meant to be. But see that bend? The first time I ever started squatting low bar, I remember like getting elbow, like tendonitis up here in my, like around my elbow, just because of that pressure. But if you can wear a wrist wrap, it kind of stabilizes your wrist for you. And the benefit for me, as somebody with gigantic daddy long leg type femurs for my body, but then midget arms, it's fine. It allows me to clear my hips, because I've got to lean forwards quite a lot when I squat to be able to get out of the way of my own hips. So I think I've used this example before. If you've got like a heavy weight, right, and you try and hold it out here for a long time, you can only going to hold it for a certain amount of time. But if we hold it in closer to our center of gravity, I can hold it here for a lot longer, right? So similar principle, I guess, when we're using or doing a squat. If I position the barbell, when I'm doing my squat, for somebody that has to clear my femurs quite a bit and I'm very forward and bent over, that weight is a lot further away from my center of gravity. So if I can slide that barbell back down and put it closer to my center, I'm a lot stronger there. So I've got less like load and tension on my spine, which is what we want to protect. So that's why I shifted to a low bar squat. It absolutely saw major improvements in my overall strength, because I'm able to perform and be more powerful in that position. Yes, there is a little disadvantage because of maybe the bit of discomfort that I initially experienced on my wrists, but these will help with that. So make sure that the grip, the sticky bit, the felt, whatever we want to call this, is facing to me. I put it on my thumb like so, and wrap away, and I'm going to ball my knuckle up into a fist. I'm going to put as much tension as I can on that wrap as possible. And then I'm going to do the same thing again, more tension. Then I open my hand, and then I wrap. Oops, I think I lost a bit of stretch there. But you can see my hand is kind of like all ganky right now. That's good, we want ganky. Hello. Because that's going to keep my wrist stable. So don't worry about your ganky hands when you're lifting. This is all part of the program. So my wrist feels so much more comfortable when that load is applied. So starting with my feet together, bracing, step straight back, 1, step to the side, 2, step to the side, 3. This video is turning into a squat tutorial. Alright, so technically that is my second warm-up. I'm going to do 2 more until I get to my working load based on the workout builder. We've always got 4 to 5 warm-up sets for any big compound movement. So if you don't know how to warm up or what weights to select based on your strength, it helps you. So I'm going to put up on the screen here. You can see there's the warm-up set, and then there's a tab for working set on the right. If you go to the warm-up tab, you can enter in what you think your weight's going to be for that working set. You punch it in, the number of reps, and then it's going to tell you what you should do for set 1 of your warm-up, set 2 of your warm-up. We do that work for you, so very convenient.
What a way to drop a bombshell, baby. Guess you really didn't think I'd find out. In the silence, crying. In the room on the side where the lights out. Know that you feel it, know that you feel it, Fuck you in my heart and head. Falling out of love again.
I'm actually feeling really strong today. This is good. So, what are the benefits of doing pin squats or Anderson squats. So the main difference between these two is that you've got one of them, you're starting from the bottom, so you would have the barbell literally sitting on the rack. You get underneath it and you start from here and you pop up. Versus the other, you have the bar here, you're starting from a tall position, you're coming down, you're pausing on the bar, keeping braced, driving back up. So subtle differences. I guess one is probably more challenging than the other. So you'll be able to see the exact, examples and what do we call them? Video tutorial on the workout builder. So we've got both of those exercises lined up, but I haven't done these in a little while. I was really smart this time when I went to the nail salon. You guys have probably seen my claws, which I've had for about a year now. I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to be able to play the piano because I ordered a new piano from my new place. Can't play the guitar, and I'm also breaking them like at least routinely once a month every time I lift. So I'm like, nope, not anymore. And it's always just one as well. It's not like I do it to every single nail, but it's enough to be annoying. And then because I don't have time, I never go back and fix it, so I just walk around with these ganky is the word today, ganky fingernails. All right, let's do this, last warm up. That felt pretty good, maybe like a 6 out of 10. It's hard, but I'm not maxing out. So I might do, for my first set today, I'll put some 5s on, keep it conservative, and I'm going for sets of 8. And then for my next set, I'm going to do a 6, and then you can imagine that in this program for the second week, when we're not doing a deload, you would have a third set at 4. So kind of incorporating, I guess, the bottom end of the moderate rep range into some of the strength rep ranges. So we know that strength rep ranges are typically categorized as like 1 to 6. And then anything from like, 8 to 12 is your moderate. And then anything like 20 plus, we're looking at like endurance rep ranges. And I know I left out a few numbers there because there's some grayness, and that's okay. Ooh, working set. I don't know how I'm going to go for 8 reps of this, we'll see. Glad I've got my What Would Jesus Do band on. I'm gonna pray to God. It's been a while. Solid. That was a good choice. Oh boy. I got nothing. No words, folks, no words. Okay, so because we're going down in rep range, it's a strength rep range, we need to challenge ourselves more. If I can already do 8 reps at this weight, then I should be able to do more with a lower weight. So I am going to add, I'm going to take off the 5s and I'm going to put on a 10. So what will I be, 185, 95, that'll be 205, 4, 6. I'm actually a little nervous, and I'm really excited because I haven't done this in a long time. Nothing like a little bit of nerves. You know what? When you get nerves, you got to do a nervous wee. So I'm going to go. Bye. All right, last set. That's good. All right, hard stuff done. It's always nice once you get through that bit, or unless you've got a really nasty coach. I'm often that person who programs 2 compound exercises. So I think after a compound movement, guys, you should be fatigued. Like, if you're not fatigued, like, that was hard. That was like getting close to my, max. I'd say today that was like an RPE 8. Probably could have done 1, maybe 2 more reps if I thought about it. But if you're not pushing close to failure, it's very unlikely that the work that you're doing is not having the intended payoff. You're not going to be getting the results that you're looking for. So don't be afraid to challenge yourself. You don't need to do heavy weight to get results, but you do need to be working close to failure. Okay, next exercise that I want to do is the pendulum squat. Let's go have a look. Honestly, I love this so much. I could absolutely paint it pink and have it as like a feature of artwork in my house. Like, it's so good. It looks so beautiful and it just feels so smooth when you do it. So again, if you don't have access to one of these in your gym, there's plenty of alternative exercises that you can do. In my opinion, again, everybody's levers are a little bit different, so you feel certain movements slightly differently. But this to me feels similar to like a hack squat, but you have a lot more quad loading on this exercise. Now you can make a hack squat more quad focused by taking your feet closer together and positioning them, a little bit further down so that you get more forward knee travel when you're at the bottom of that squat. But I think this does it better. It just feels more comfortable in my opinion. So this is going to be my second compound exercise today, but I am going to make it more quad focused. And I do say that because the squats that I just did, they're more glute focused for me. I am so far forwards when I squat because of my long femurs and my forward lean. It's mostly a posterior chain exercise. Now, of course, I'm still using my quads. Yes, I'm going to be utilizing my adductors, that little muscle on the inside. I don't know if any of you have squat before and gone a little heavier than you're used to, and you'll get all your adductors, like you go sit on the toilet and you're like, oh my God. So that's an adductor heavy exercise, but for me, it's mostly glutes. Now, there are some people that have got short femurs and they just do a little pop. They kind of very upright when they squat because they haven't got a lot of knee clearance. They don't have to get their femurs out of the way. So for some folks, that exercise that we just did might still be very quad focused for you. So when I'm writing this program, again, I'm thinking about this for my levers. And again, that's why it's so important to get a good coach that can help you if you want customized programming, which by the way, my team, oh my God, these girls are amazing. I have a chiropractor, I have a physical therapist, we have exercise scientists that are all their passion is lifting. So they do programming, by the way. So again, glute focus, now I'm moving to quad focus, and then my last exercise for my lower body is going to be hamstring, and then I said also I'm going to do a calves today, which I'm not going to worry about filming for you today. You guys know I'm going to do it. I'm just not going to waste my time because I've got to get through this. So let's set this up. All right, so for this, remember today I said I wanted to do quad focus. So if I had my feet higher and wider, it's going to be a bit more posterior chain glutes. But if I bring my feet down and kind of more narrow, it's going to be a little uncomfortable for me because of my long femurs, so it's harder for me to get a good quad pump because of my femurs getting in the way. But I can certainly do my very best to load them up. So I'm going to keep them pretty close to me, and I might have to play around with that for the first rep or so just to see where my feet need to go to isolate my quads. So we'll go down. This kind of just unracks. You can either put your hands here, or I probably prefer to go underneath for extra support. But see how my toes are already traveling over my knee here? If I come all the way down, there's so much forward knee. Now, not everybody could or should do this. If you've had knee problems, or you're working through a knee problem or an issue or an injury, you should probably be working with a physical therapist and not doing my program, let's be real. This is for a otherwise healthy individual without any kind of issues. But that forward knee travel is going to isolate my quads. As soon as I'm here, my quads are on fire. I don't even have to do a full range of motion to do that. I'm going to sneak my toes up just a little bit more. Yeah, that's really good. All right, so I'm probably only going to put like another 5 or 10 on there. I don't have super strong quads, believe it or not. I think most of the exercises that I do are so posterior dominant that my poor little quads are weak. So not too much extra weight or it's going to be too unrealistic. Okay.
Know that you feel it, know that you feel it, fuck you in my heart and head. Falling out of love again, yeah. Rolling on my blunt in bed, falling out of love again. It's been a very, very long night.
My knees popping.
I don't know about you, about you, about you, you. Something in his eyes, he's keeping secrets. I don't know about you, about you.
Lord. So all the videos that you guys see me put on Instagram, this is all I'm doing. Forcing myself to take my videos. Back when I had a training partner, it was super helpful because you didn't have to do it. It was like you just help each other and you film each other's sets. Not so much lately. Like the lone stag. Couldn't see out my camera. Could also be my eyes. And it was a major crutch shot, so we'll try that again. Yeah, that's better. Primarily because I've already done heavy, and if I tried to do heavy reps again, I wouldn't be testing my true strength. I could be training close to failure, so that would be working well for hypertrophy, but would it really be working on my maximum strength? Probably not. Some might argue against that. Feel free to argue with me. I like arguing in a nice way.
Keeping secrets.
So I'm probably working at like an RPE 7, maybe a 6.5. I feel like it's just a lot of metabolic byproducts causing like my legs to be in pain. But I could keep going. So I probably should have a heavier weight, or if you get to the intended rep range and you don't want to waste more time doing another set, keep going until you get to the intended RPE or RIR. That way you're not like re-racking, and especially if you're using like something that requires a lot more plate loading and slows you down, like putting on another weight. Just finish the set and do more reps, but document it and then know for next time, hey, I need to go up in weight. Okay, hamstrings are going to be the last big upper. What do I want to do? I was going to do RDLs. Well, it's not really an RDL. It's a reverse hack squat RDL. But this one here, it doesn't have a nice long moment arm. Like, it's so short and stumpy. Like, I need a lot more padding to be able to get under it and like get my shoulders on it. So I can't do that. That was like my intended exercise. Let's go for a look around this gym. While I think of what exercise I'm going to do, I'm going to fill in that time and do calves because I know I want to do calves. That was meant to be 12, but I went to 15 because I didn't have enough weight. So that got me a little closer to failure. Let's throw in another 10. feel like, okay, so let's get down so I can be quiet. There's not that many girls that train at this gym, but like, I looked around and everyone that's here is like a supermodel. And then I also know that 50% of the gym goers here that are males are all gay. There's a really large gay population here. In fact, I have made so many awesome friends already just in this gym. And I've been invited to a couple of beach parties and stuff with them. But they're all awesome. But they're all so good looking and it's like, this is so confusing. So that's all I had to say. Very attractive gym. Okay, let's see how we go here for this weight. I'm going for 12. Come on. I hope you guys are counting. I think that was 13. But it wasn't failure. It's going on Instagram. They've got a couple of cool single leg standing hamstring exercises, which I might go and do. So let's head over there. Okay, so you guys know I'm not really training my back or my chest very much, so I'm gonna superset these. Again, they're towards the end of the workout for a reason, because they're not my primary focus for training, but I don't want to do too much wide movements anymore, whether it's a row or a pull down, because I don't want to widen my back anymore. What I do want to keep focusing on is keeping some back strength and primarily in my rhomboid, so that middle section of my back, which you can't see. So for that reason, I'm going to be focusing on like a close grip today, and I'm going to use this, what do they call it, a T-bar row. And I'm probably not going to work to a very high RPE because I'm not trying to grow. I'm just trying to maintain the muscle that I have. So in efforts to not, you know, as an athlete, you want to keep trying to progress and get stronger. And normally when you work through a program, that's what you want to do. Like as your strength improves, you know, that intensity, you know, scale goes down, so you've got to add weight. So I'm actually okay at working to a lower RPE for this exercise because I'm just going through the motions, literally. But if you are trying to build your back, please focus on obviously good technique, working to the correct intensity, and you'll notice that as you continue to train, the same weight's going to get lighter, and if you aren't trying to encourage like adaptations by adding more resistance, then you're probably not going to add any more muscle. So again, focus on the goal for you. Obviously you can take my training into consideration and the tips that I give you, but your goals might be a little bit different to mine. So this will just be my warm-up set. I'm just gonna do like 8 reps. Okay. Working weight. You feel it, fuck you in my heart ahead. Falling out of love again, yeah. Rolling on my blood in bed, yeah. Falling out of love again. It's been a very, very long night. Sitting with my girl, sipping wine like I don't know about you. That was good for that intensity. Not too hard. What do we think, guys? How's this angle? I feel like it's not too bad. Yeah. Look at them glutes. Man, gotta have a lot of confidence in here. Okay, one more set. What is the time? Cool, 10 minutes. All right, guys, we got time for one more exercise here. This is the reality of my life. I'm gonna have to go home and set up for a call. Probably grab a snack while I'm on the call, because then I have some other things that I have to get done, and then I have a podcast for 2 hours starting at 3 o'clock, I think, till 5. So big day today. Not a whole lot of time, not a whole lot of showering going to happen, I can tell you now. So yeah, what I'll probably do is in between my call and the podcast, I will finish off, because I've got some stuff at home that I didn't get time to do here today. So my logic was, what can I do at home? I've got dumbbells and a cable. What can I do at home? I don't have machines, so I'm going to do the exercises that I know I can't do as effectively at my house. So I'm going to do those here instead. So I don't know whether I'm going to use this yet. Sometimes these machines that have a fairly fixed movement plane do not work with my levers, and it actually ends up putting an unnecessary amount of stress either on my elbow or on my shoulder rotator cuff, which I've never had I've had one injury from throwing stones, literally, into the water, but nothing in the gym before. But I know they get a little aggravated depending on that movement plane. So I try to challenge that from time to time, but not under any kind of excessive load. And this doesn't necessarily have a really light setting, so I might not be able to do it.
Did you change it before? No. I'm not doing less. You did that.
When I said it didn't have a light setting, I lied. It's been fixed. Okay, so I'm going to do a warm-up of like 10 here. Oh yeah. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to superset these just so I can get them done. Got 2 sets of each. And I'm going to pair this with a rear delt. Okay, working set 12 or 15. Try and think about keeping your core engaged here, the same way that you would for any kind of exercise. All right? That's good. All right, so this is actually really nice. It pivots. It's got a little bit of movement, so you don't get stuck. So many of these keep you in a very single plane. This bad boy moves around depending on your lever length, which is actually pretty cool. And I guess depending on the length of your arms, if you've got really long arms, hold the bottom of the handle. If you've got shorter arms, hold the bottom, this part. And they've put grease on it, so it's silky smooth. Last time I was here, it was like the noisiest piece of equipment in the gym, literally, so loud. So rest time between sets, isolation exercises like this, 60 seconds is good. Again, you can either slow it down and you might be able to lift heavier, but again, think about this. The whole point is working close to failure. So if you're specifically focusing on strength, which I would encourage you at times to do, because there's a lot of carryover, particularly for those compound exercises. You might want to rest 3 to 5 minutes between a squat, a deadlift, trap bar deadlift, any kind of variation of squats or deadlifts would be a good place to rest for 3 to 5 minutes. I just sit down, do a couple of emails, check my social media, like just send a DM, and then I get back into it. But I need that time in a compound lift to really be able to focus on exerting that movement. Like, it's mentally fatiguing, like when you're going to hit like a 5 rep max or something like that. I know how heavy that load is, so I've got to get psyched for it. So you don't want to be rushing that type of training if strength is the goal. Okay, so 2 sets again at a fairly light resistance. I'm going to do a quick warm up just to make sure this machine is similar to what I've done before. Always do a warm up set. Don't ever assume it's the best way to get an injury. Okay, that's pretty good. It's the first time that I found like the length of this is in a good position for my midget arms. Again, I have a slight forward position in here rather than being like super up tall. I mean, you could do either depending which area of your rear delt you're trying to hit, lower or upper. I mean, it's a big muscle. It covers quite a bit of, I guess, area, circumference area. I might even do 2 for this set. 1 position up, 1 position forwards. All right, we're gonna go up to 70 for my first set. And then somewhere between 12 and 15. That's a good weight choice. Okay, so second set, I'm going to sit a little bit more upright. Man, I'm going to drop that down so I finish the working set because I only got 10, so not as strong in this position. 10. 11, trying to keep my shoulder blades down. We're done, guys. Let's go. Gotta get home for that phone call. Okay, guys, so we are back at the house. I've had my call. We already squeezed in some other filming. I don't even know how we're getting through the day. I'm running off like 4 hours sleep. It's crazy. But we left off the gym and I skipped my hamstring exercise because I could not find anything that really stood out to me as being amazing, and then I was running out of time. And then we also skipped the chest exercise. So what I'm gonna do here is, since I have such a lovely set of dumbbells, we're gonna do some RDLs. Again, this is not a magical exercise, but I'm gonna do 3 different variations just so that you guys can get some ideas for different movements in your own programs. And then I'm also going to do a couple of different chest press variations. So for the 2 sets that I've got today, I'll show you 2 different variations that you can do. So I'm going to start with hamstrings because that is the more important muscle group. That should be how you treat your training programs. If you're not using one of mine and you're doing your own, please make sure that that's what you're prioritizing. So because I have taken a little bit of a breather, I am going to do a warm-up set or 2. I'm just going to do 5 reps, and then I'm going to do 2 reps, and then I'll jump into my working set. So I think for my first working set, probably 40 is a good place to start. Oh, I'm glad I'm doing a warm-up. My hamstrings are very tender. I think it's because I did pretty heavy barbell RDLs 2 days ago. Or maybe it was yesterday. All the days are rolling together right now. Okay, my rep range. What do I want to do this? Okay, I'm thinking about the program that I did for you guys last time. I know that I had RDLs and I have a feeling it was 10, sets of 10. I might actually make these a heavier set because in this new program that I'm writing, I've already got one of my other RDL kind of exercises or hamstring exercises out of the way. It's at a moderate to high rep range. So again, thinking about some exercise diversity in the rep ranges, there's some benefits to having a few different rep ranges within a program. I'm gonna go heavy for these. So for my last warm up, I'm probably gonna hit 70s. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'll probably do this rep range as like 6 to 8. So we'll see how this feels. I'm just gonna do 2 reps. Solid, good choice. I can't wait to get the floor mats in here so it doesn't make that sound, because I'm thinking about the poor people underneath me, and it's like, because I can already hear the people above me. It feels like they're doing shuffleboard with their furniture like down the hallway. It's so noisy. So I think I'll do these people underneath me the courtesy of getting some flooring. Okay. What do you reckon, guys? 80 pounds? I guess that's my only option. It's either 80 or 90. I don't have 5s. All right, we're going up. We're committing. This is a little scary. I haven't done this in at least 12 months. Whew, okay. I feel like I need to walk up for this one. Okay, you only live once. So for the heavier weights, you want to make sure that you're really stable before you decide to stand up. I just had my foot in that like split staggered stance and I was like, yeah, that's not stable. So I'm going to bring my feet together because it is kind of heavy. And then I'm going to really try and make sure that I'm keeping my back as straight as I can when I lift this weight up because it's rough. There's going to be a little bit of spinal curvature just because I'm down so low. Like my spine can't be straight in this position. But really focus on bracing as you lift those weights up and driving your feet through the floor. Okay, 6 to 8, here we go.
Drop a bombshell, baby. Guess you really didn't think I'd find out. In the silence, crying. On the side where the lights out. Know that you feel it. Know that you feel it. Fuck you in my heart ahead. Falling out of love again. Falling on my blood in bed. Falling out of love again. It's been a very, very long.
It's so noisy, I feel so bad. Oh my goodness, yeah, that was hard. I'm kind of proud of myself right now. Whew, thank God it's only 2 sets for this week. Yeah, I mean, if I could probably go to the 85 and it would be an RPE 10. That was like a 9. That was pretty tough. I think I'm also just used to being able to throw my things around a little bit more. And I don't quite have that luxury here. So, okay, second set. Oh, that air conditioning, where's it coming from? Yes. It was set to 74. I feel like I have a really tight thermostat. I might have talked to you guys about this before. I have like a really narrow window where my body is like happy. And if it goes over by a degree, I'm like, what's going on? Does anyone else have that or is it just me? I'm either sweating to death at night. That's still going on, by the way. I don't know what it is. I think I'm just a hot sleeper. It's like all the tension in my body builds up through the day and then it releases at night time. Happy neighbours. Oh my goodness. That was rough. Might have looked easy, it wasn't. So I think what I'm gonna do is donate these, not really, but permanently keep them positioned in the gym here. So it's not a big space, but the stuff that they've got sucks. And even one of the owners of the building was like, yeah, it sucks. I'm like, okay, so we're on the same page. So I might say, hey, let's just get rid of that piece of equipment. I'm happy for anybody in the building to use this stuff. Just treat it nicely. But that way I've got an extra space because then I'm gonna knock out this wall here. So this is just like, let's do a walk around. Just show the folks at home what we're dealing with here. So I start here and then it's just, I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think I should do with this space? Because it's like 3 or 4 doors or panes like right next to each other. So I think I'm gonna knock this wall out so it frees up that space. I'm probably gonna need to have a washer and dryer somewhere, but I'm probably gonna put that on the other side of the hallway. And then have this as like a big guest bedroom, I think. That's my thoughts. Or I could have it as an office, but I've got to say, I've really enjoyed having my office with that view because I'm the one that's going to be here most of the time. So maybe if my friend, if someone's staying, I'll have like a sofa lounge or something in the office space. I know I'm going to fix that and make that a whole different layout as well. And then I can give them the option. Like if you want to see the view, you can sleep on my sofa lounge and I'll take my laptop into this back room. I don't know, we'll work it out. Chest exercise. So I think I'll use my cables and we'll do a chest fly. And again, this is not a primary muscle group. It's not something that I'm needing to grow. It is being maintained. So with this little volume, I'm going to maintain my chest strength, and that's going to be important in some ways for my shoulder movements, like to grow my shoulders. If I want to build strong shoulders, I need to be able to carry a heavy load, and there is going to be a little bit of chest recruitment in some shoulder movements as well. So there are still some benefits to having a couple of these. So this program is probably going to have 2 chest exercises, 2 back exercises. That is 1 more than I had in the last training program. I think there was only 1 of each. So again, thinking about a little bit of progression, but not so much that I start to, you know, add more size back there, which is not what I wanted to do. But if you are trying to build your body in general to develop a more even symmetrical physique, or maybe you are unsymmetrical at the moment, you've got really great lower body, but you haven't really developed your upper body very much, then I would probably stick to the normal kind of training, I guess, exercise numbers. So I would say if you're training anywhere from, say, 10 to 15 sets, I think would be a really good place to start if you're a beginner for a single muscle group. If you've been training for a little while, you're more moderate or advanced, you can then look at somewhere between maybe 15 to 20. I know for me, on my lower body, some of my muscle groups are getting all the way up to like 25 sets per week. So, you know, me pulling this back to two exercises or 2 sets is pretty low, but that's about the volume that it's going to maintain my muscle for me. Now that I've done all that work years ago, it's a lot easier to maintain than it is to build. Hopefully this doesn't fall apart on me because I didn't set it back up. The movers did, and I heard a lot of sounds and cuss words when they were setting it back up, and it was also like 11 at night. Survived 1 set, ladies. Okay, I might take that up for my next one. That was probably an RPE 8. Might have been less. You guys can be the judge. I'm sitting here talking to you. Okay, remember that rule that I talked about before? 60 seconds. This is going to be an isolation exercise for me, and it's not a priority. So short rest. Switch legs this time.
I don't know about you, about you, about you. Something in his eyes is keeping secrets. I don't know about you, about you, about you. Something in his eyes is keeping secrets.
we just got a knock at the door. Yeah. So this is my neighbours coming to complain. Oh God, here we go. Hey.
You still wanted me to...
Oh, yeah. We have been filming the whole time.
Yeah.
We
No,
literally
that's
stick your head in.
I figured you texted me and then you're like...
Stick your head in. Say hi to this guy.
She's not even going to give me a warning. So, hi YouTube.
So this is my pilot.
I am.
Yeah, this is Cole.
So if any of you need flights out there, hit me up.
Yeah.
Local.
Yeah, will
Put
I?
my info in the what is it, description?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we just got done filming the rest of my workout because I saw you earlier today. So I had to skip half of it, run back for a call, and now I'm here. So I literally,
Right.
I was putting the weights down. I'm like, oh no, that's my neighbors. They're gonna come and like growl at me because I'm making too much sound. So, okay.
You know,
Look at that.
Is this actually going in there?
Yeah.
I was not ready for that at all.
I just put a camera in your face. Welcome. Surprise! Hey, you want to be friends with me? This is what happens, guys. This is what we do.
It's part of it. I didn't sign up for it, but I guess I officially signed up for it. I guess.
Well, we just finished the workout, so I'm going to wrap that up for you. You can be right here and wrap up the video. So, guys, that was my full body workout, completely disjointed today. That is my life at the moment. So we got it done. We did full body. Obviously, I don't train triceps and biceps. It's not really necessary for me. No, no, I don't. They're going to get utilized in some of those heavy movements. Like you guys just saw me lifting those 80s. Like, it's tough. There's going to be some tension in your biceps and your triceps. Now, if you're wanting to grow those, you could absolutely add in some biceps and triceps into one of your other programs, or if you've got the time, you could tack them on to the end here. And again, if they're a priority for you, then you want to have those earlier up in that training program. If your chest isn't important to you, then do that last. Train your biceps and triceps first. So that was today's full body workout with multiple locations and multiple interruptions. So guys,
if you're lucky, you'll see me in the background in some of the clips.
Now you can go back and find you. So if you've got questions, please leave me a comment in the description. And until next time, you gotta say something now.
Make sure to like and subscribe and what else? Comment.
Yeah, we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.